You guys wearing the same sneakers.
He bought the Air Big Cats. Really squeezing in on my
I mean, I don't know a ton about sneakers, so I'm trying to get into some, and so KFC recommended these.
The ones that I wear.
They're not the same
like
ones.
3
I mean, they're
pairs
different
of
colors.
those.
Okay, rundown today is November 15th. We were just starting commenting that Riggs has the same sneakers as Big Cat.
These I think
they're similar.
The Andre Agassi, what are they? Fights, what are these called? Air Tech Challenge. I have like 6 different kinds of them. You're kind of encroaching, but I'm gonna let you have it. I told you you just gotta bring an extra pair.
Right, so I'm gonna bring another pair, keep it in case.
So if
we
he
have
ever
the same
wears
shoes
them
on,
the
we
same
can
day as
swap
me,
out.
we'll switch it up. It's okay. There's enough sneakers to go around for everyone.
You also answered like, I'm not into sneakers. I'm trying to get into them. That's like what you've done with a bunch of things here. Like you tried to get into the Saints football. You're just like whatever.
What's wrong with trying to get into stuff?
I don't know. I feel like get your own stuff.
I mean, I'm from Missouri. We don't have.
Like, while we're on it,
clay.
I don't want to pick you apart here, Riggs, but you're like a puffy vest away from being me.
I mean, I'm also like 100 pounds away from it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you got a little upset.
That was shocking.
You guys are coming at me when we're not going to fire back.
Hey, no.
You do have to fight back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That beard's interesting too. MB.
Oh, you own beards? Okay.
Riggs, I got a guy. I'll shape you up. Shape you up real
This rundown is brought to you by Mvmt watches. These are the watches disrupting the watch industry because you can buy a $95 watch. Big Cat's wearing one. They look
Riggs,
like.
where's yours?
I'm surprised he'll probably have one by the end of the show. They look like they can be $400, $500 watches. You can wear them just casually sitting around your house lounging, or you can go out at a club. That's the beauty of it. They look like everything. A watch for every person. 15% off for Stoolies. Click on the link below. Again, 15% off for all Stoolies watching this. Mvmt watches. So get them, get in the game. We all have them here. A lot of topics on the rundown today. You could have argued some did deserve it. I think they all deserve it. I put together a list. We'll start with, LeBron's posse is mad at Pat Riley for calling LeBron's posse a posse. The posse includes Maverick Carter and some other guy. And the connotation is essentially they're being racist. That it's like if this was white businessmen or they call them businessmen, you wouldn't call them a posse. I couldn't be more on Pat Riley's side. LeBron James, I don't care, white, black.
Phil Jackson, excuse me.
Phil Jackson. LeBron James has a fucking posse. And that's not a racist thing. Those guys are posse guys. It's like your high school teammates who basically would never have a job like this if they weren't friends with LeBron James. That's your squad, that's your fucking posse. No other way around it. And by the way, when your name is like Maverick, that's how you get the name fucking posse. So
I also think like he just doesn't know the definition of posse, right? I don't think he knows the accurate definition of posse.
This is where we have the problem where like everyone's an accidental racist because like I say posse all the time. And now you're gonna tell me that I'm like that's offensive? Like there's probably bigger.
What is that?
I don't know.
Sort of drilling.
Who's doing that?
Now?
Brett, can you not like shred paper in the middle of the rundown? Just a small ask.
We have
small little ask. All right, office manager.
We
don't
have
shred in the middle of
far
it.
bigger issues to worry about than the word posse, right?
Agreed.
Like there's way more things to concern ourselves with than fucking Phil Jackson saying posse.
Also, you probably don't want to like complain about being posse when there's stories out there of Maverick Carter. Like there's that story where someone had a chain, like a $10,000 chain, and Maverick Carter thought it was stolen from LeBron. Some lady bought it, and they called up, and they're like, hey, show up at this house, and then they stole the chain back from the lady. That's a posse move. That's
the whole reason to get a posse, to go steal your chains back.
Yeah, no, totally on Phil Jackson's side here. Sticking with stories that maybe... All right, I put this next story in just because I like reading the headline. I don't know where you guys want to go with it, but a guy in, I think it was Johannesburg, almost died from wedding ring dick strangulation. That was a story. He put his wedding ring on his dick and for erotic purposes, and then almost died because obviously, listen, you can barely get a wedding ring off your fucking finger when your finger expands. Never mind putting on your dick. A very strange move.
What do we think this guy, like, is he a tall, skinny guy? Or is he, because obviously if he's a tall, skinny guy, maybe he's got like a tall, skinny dick. Or is he like a fat, like got really fat fingers, and that's why.
Fat finger guy could never put a
And
wedding
that's what I'm
ring
saying.
on a dick.
But
No, not
the
even
fat
close,
finger
but-
guy probably has a bigger wedding ring, so he's like, I'd like to see a picture of this guy.
Well, so
also,
he-
I think this story happened like a month ago.
He obviously had to.
May have.
Yeah.
Who blogged it? Do we even know?
No, this is like the fake Chinese
Oh,
story. Like,
yeah,
I
that's
feel
why-
like this always goes around.
Shout out then to these people because I thought that. I'm like, Johannesburg.
Yeah, I did too. I was like,
Johannesburg doesn't seem
This
like a
feels like it's
hotbed.
happening too much.
But
People putting wedding rings on their.
Then they
kids.
did slip because in the story it started in Johannesburg and then it was like Pujadami or something in the city that happened. It's almost
old
like it's been like
bait and
crafted
switch
together.
keep going.
Yeah.
So he put it on when he was soft. And
Yeah,
then
had
he
to.
gets hard.
And
I
then
mean,
he
that's
gets
got to
hard.
be a battle then to try to get
Or like half-
hard, right? He's got to be like.
That's what happened. It strangled the dick and he was stuck and had to go to the emergency room and then all hell broke loose.
I mean, that's got to be a battle where you're trying to get soft so that you can get the thing off.
My
It's gotta
final
be like a
answer, I think
mental
he's
battle.
a fat guy with just a huge fucking finger, and maybe he's got like his fat guy body doesn't match his dick.
I think he's skinny guy,
He's got like
skinny
a little
dick,
tiny.
put it
dick.
on skinny.
No, you know what?
exploded,
He's like
stuck.
a really fat guy, like short, like 5'3", like 300 bills. He's
stocky?
got the little like Tic Tac dick, and he's got a big fat finger.
Tic tac
Put it right
dick.
up there.
This next story I didn't want to mention. I may skip it because we may be getting put through the ringer here. No pun intended, but
Oh my
fucking
God.
intended. This motherfucker over here with the
Oh my
stories.
God.
This brain sometimes is next level. Sometimes this brain jumps outside of the head and just floats above and does things that I don't even know how it's doing.
There's a short about that. A Millmore short.
Collinsworth versus
Check it
Simmons.
out.
You didn't watch it?
Bill Simmons tweeted during the game, like, I gently would recommend Collinsworth to say that the Patriots have no pass rush. That's what's making Seattle's offensive line look good. And then Collinsworth from the fucking clouds is like, I look forward to gently seeing you break this down on your hit show. Internet went crazy. I'm one of those guys when it comes to jokes like this. It's like I'm fucking late night at the Apollo at a black comedy show where I don't even care if the joke is funny. If it's at Simmons' expense, I'm fucking hooting, hollering, and throwing.
It's an and one guy. Got the fucking, I'm going with the towel. I'm the towel guy who's like halfway on the court.
Yeah, it
oh
literally,
my God.
Yeah, it literally doesn't matter what the joke is. I'm gonna fucking basically go bananas. But now I'm hearing Collinsworth is going on his show, so that
that
ruins
sucks.
the whole.
Yeah, that
fucking
ruins
Ruins
the whole
it.
thing.
That was such a vicious tweet, though. I momentarily felt bad for a multi-millionaire Bill
For Simmons?
which is a very hard thing to do, to stop and be like, oh, fuck, man. Like, he's taking a lot of losses right now.
A lot of losses.
And the whole world has turned on him. I felt bad for him for about 2 seconds.
I love it. I love seeing the world turn on him. I love watching the world burn, especially when it's
Now,
an
does
enemy.
that never, so we've had this conversation before. That never, like, I'm of the theory that everyone's time, like, for whom the bell tolls, everyone's time's going to come. The internet turned on Simmons. The internet will definitely turn on us eventually. You don't worry about that?
Well, it will turn, but we'll handle it in different ways. Like
Right.
Simmons just being a church mouse.
Right,
He's
right.
curled up in a little.
And he doesn't make fun of himself, really.
Right.
That's true.
So
Okay, that's a good point.
if people come at me, that everyone knows. When you back me into a corner, that's when I get vicious.
Yeah.
That's when my claws come out. I'll try to ruin people. So Simmons is just taking it like a fucking. It's almost like the Simpsons episode of when he's the Southern Dandy, the boxer, and he can't be but he just takes punches.
Right.
He's just sitting there like a punching bag, like a spineless little amoeba of anti-ant charisma, getting his ass whooped, and he hasn't said a word. He hasn't had one comeback to somebody.
It's almost like when you start the rundown, everybody fucking comes at you from left and right. You got to fire back a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's exactly what it's like.
You're still upset about that, huh?
Yeah,
of
you are.
course I am.
You are.
Of course I'm upset about it. You attacked everything about me.
We didn't.
Not everything about.
No, we didn't
Well,
mention.
first of all,
your
let
eyes.
me say, I didn't attack everything about you because you are me. So I like the look. It's just that you are
Imitation,
me.
flattery
Yeah, right,
thing,
right,
you know,
exactly.
yeah, right.
Like I actually like it. You look.
I'm not
I think
imitating
you-
anything.
I think
Well,
you look
did you have
great
that beard
today.
when you started here?
It's fall. Everybody rocks a beard in the fall. You don't own beards.
Interesting.
Kind of do. I got shaped
You
up yesterday.
got shaped up. He's got the. Dave still has the I got shaped up swag.
Yeah,
He's
of
got.
course
It's like a
he
2-day swag thing.
That's fine. I'll let it go.
The rundown brought to you by Oaks and Cokes, Barstool Bar. Thank you, Oaks and Cokes. Also, I think there's like 100 tickets or something like that, maybe less,
Yep.
left for KFC Radio at the Wilbur Saturday night. Go to that. So I heard you're going.
I'll be there.
Bought
You're
your own
doing
ticket.
stand-up comedy.
Yep, buy my own
I'm
stuff.
going to
Nope.
be the opener, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not a big stand-up guy, so I don't know what I'm going to say. But that is Saturday. Back to the rundown. Two Kardashian stories. I don't know if you guys saw the second one because I don't know if it's been blogged yet. The first one, there's a rumor now that Kim Kardashian staged the robbery because she got an ass reduction, and then that's time, not in the spotlight so people wouldn't know because you're all bruised. The other one, I don't know if you've seen it. If you haven't, you don't have to comment. There's a picture of Khloe Kardashian that she's getting heat for because she's wearing a corset and her stomach is like tiny, 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 and then her ass is just everywhere. So the question, what?
I saw it on the dashboard, and it was wild because it was like way out here.
Was it Photoshop?
Whoop, and then
No,
way out here again.
it's her own, and so people are saying you have an eating disorder, blah, blah, blah. I wrote a blog. Let's start, I don't believe Kim. I think Kim staged it. I don't think that's the reason. I don't ever see her getting a smaller ass. She doesn't seem like a smaller ass person.
Her ass gotten pretty big.
It's always been huge, though.
Yeah,
huh?
but it's like real. Like it's hard. I would imagine it's hard to keep an ass like that toned.
So you think there's some truth to this?
I think there's truth to it simply because the Kardashians are so fucking stupid that it's like Kim Kardashian can't get an ass surgery and just not go outside for a week. They have to be like, we have to stage a fucking robbery in France so that I can, stay under the radar.
As insane as what you just said is truthful, it's also truthful.
It's
like
so
if she didn't go
truthful.
outside, people are
Right.
like something's going on with
Right,
Kim.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're like, well, what are we going to do?
I
Here's
feel
the
like you're getting
whiteboard.
lower and lower, by the way. Like, I know this is relaxed, but I mean, we gotta be able to see your face still in this thing.
Why are you, stop coming after me, Dave, all right? We're trying to talk about topics, trying to talk about the Kardashians.
You're just extremely low. You were.
It's a
extremely
comfortable
low.
chair.
Okay, go on. Continue. What's your take on Kardashians? First of all, the only thing I did, Khloe, is for all the girls out there who watch it. That's not what we want you to look for. We're not body shaming. That's
Yeah,
not the right-
but you're saying that's not what you want girls to look
No,
like.
I'm giving self-confidence. Like, people always say we're so fucking chauvinistic and body shaming, and that is gross what she looked like.
Well, I don't
Not
understand.
to the NBA player she's going for.
I think that was gross. It was too skinny. Her stomach was too fucking skinny.
think
She looked like
that's-
a faker. She looked like a fake person.
Barbie.
She looks like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Okay, Riggs, you want to chip in? Now's your chance, big guy.
Yeah, I think that what I don't understand is what would you need to hide if you had ass surgery to reduce your ass size? What would she be hiding if she?
I
went
think
out in
it's all
public?
bruised
Yeah.
and shit.
But she's not walking around like with her ass out. She's got pants on. Right?
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, true.
like if your ass is already huge, and you
Maybe
get
you
it
can't
reduced.
walk. Maybe you can't walk for a little bit. I don't know. I have
Like
ass surgery. Ass surgery blows my mind. Like if you get ass implants, if you get a reduced ass, all that I don't understand.
if I was a nobody and nobody would know, and I didn't have to wear like a fucking face mask, and someone's like, you can just get a nose job and look, no one will know you got
You're
it
too far down.
tomorrow.
You're too far down the road.
But if
Yeah.
nobody knew
You're way
it,
too
if
far
I
down the
do
road.
it like junior high, I'd be, fuck yeah. But imagine me showing up like I got fucking hit in the face with a basketball. What excuse would you be? I just tripped and fell
Now
down.
we're talking. We staged like some kind of accident
Yeah, and then
where
come
you
back
get hit
with
in the
like
face
a
and then boom,
pencil nose.
your
yeah.
nose is better.
Couple Trump protester stories. First, we had the Ohio State kid. You said he was an old guy. I just thought he was a dude.
I can't believe that people didn't think he was an old guy. The way he went down the stairs, he was like, he just looked like.
So
an old
yeah,
guy.
Trump
You look like a spaz to me.
Trump protester gets
he did go
absolutely
barreling down.
leveled.
Yeah, he's just like-
Leveled. And then we also there was a protest at UC San Diego, and they just kind of wandered into the street, the Trump protesters, and one of them just, like, onto, I shouldn't say the street, the freeway. And one of them just got run over, broke her leg. My thing on these protests, at some point, you lose all credibility as a protester. If you can protest like 100 straight days,
Right.
you must have no job and be
Right.
a hippie. Like, you can't just keep protesting because that just means you're not a productive member of society. I loved watching that guy, by the way, get fucking smashed. That was great. Riggs, you blogged it twice, I think, which was good. I
Yeah,
had it in the pipeline. I had a great blog and didn't post it because you beat me to it. Fair and square.
Gil Riggs. When he came down and yelled, "You idiot," and it was like dead silent in the gym for whatever reason at that moment, I was laughing out loud funny. He had no regard for his own safety. He literally threw himself down the stairs, buried the guy. Then the people swarmed him. They did the whole Game of Thrones shame chant. It was just a phenomenal video.
Yep. You hit it though, Dave. The protests right after the election, I'm fine with that. This is America. People should be able to express their, if they don't like something, they should be able to go out there and get to the streets. But after once, it's over.
Yeah.
You protested, you let everyone know. Now go make a change for real. If you're protesting a week later, you're a low-life piece of shit. You need to get a job.
And they're also not helping themselves with their wardrobe. It looks like fucking Woodstock, these people.
And what happens with all these protests is once you get a few days down the line, you just get the professional protesters who are just, they don't even know what they're protesting anymore. They're just out there because they feel like protesting. And that's when it all gets like the message that they're trying to send is totally muddled.
That's like when people were protesting. I went through that string back in the day where it was like I was at Occupy Boston, then I was at the anti-me protest, and then they had the protest for the Blackout Tour, and I was starting to like recognize. I'd be like, oh, hey, Harry, like the same fucking guys protesting everything.
It was the same people too that got concreted themselves.
Yeah, concreted. Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
It's the same crowd.
I love this next story. The golf. John Daly's playing father-son with his kid for the first time in this golf tournament, this pro-am type thing. John Daly's kid is fucking like a spitting image of John Daly. He's dressed like him. He's fat like him. He has the same facial expressions like mid-swing. He has the same exact fucking swing as him. I am all in on John Daly's kid. All in.
You have to be. I mean, his first video I just saw of him, he was hitting a golf ball off like a Coke can, and it was exploding everywhere. I feel like that's John Daly's whole thing. So when I saw him, you can look at him and be like, that's definitely John Daly's kid, no matter who he was.
Does John Daly not drink anymore? Did I get that
he
right?
drinks.
He does?
No, he drinks.
I always feel like he's back and forth.
He's one of those.
Definitely.
I
Yeah.
watched the 30 for 30. He's one of those guys, and he was dead serious. He's like, I just gave up on like whiskey and just pounded like 100 beers. So I'm glad I did that.
Got it.
Yeah.
Like in dead serious, like I'm sober because
That
I
was
only have.
responsible.
Yeah,
For sure.
like I had 30 beers a day, so I was all right.
So if he still is drinking, his kid, I mean, he's got to drink too, right?
Oh, his
he's
kid.
what, 12?
13.
13?
Yeah.
He's definitely.
He may be like a Mountain
He's
Dew
getting
guy
there.
right now, like one of
Yeah.
those like 30 Mountain Dews, but he's gonna progress to
He's probably ripping darts already. He's got to be.
And that 30 for 30, I love too. Even all like John Daly's exes and like people he's fucked over, like we love John. John's
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
being
he's a
John.
good guy,
Like nobody had it.
He is that guy that get like one night stand at chick.
Yeah.
He's like, I love John Daly. He's great.
Yeah, he's the best. I don't have much to say about this picture. The Clinton picture that went viral last night with like a hooker behind him. The beauty of Bill Clinton is, I don't know if this is photoshopped. I think it was. I think it's fake. I don't really care. It's like, it's just.
Even if it is, you know that exact scene has happened before, so it doesn't matter. I love that he
Right.
had the remote, was just chilling,
Right.
with like getting his back rubbed, maybe a little ass play.
It's got to be fake just because why would it be released 5 days after the election?
Right.
I mean,
And-
someone missed out on a huge payday not being able to release that.
But was it from
Yeah.
Anonymous? Or was
But
that
if they
fake
have
too?
that, they should have. I mean, it makes no sense. That my guess is it's a really good Photoshop. They tried to sell it and no one bought it because they're like, this is a Photoshop. And then after the election, they're like, all right, we'll
But was it
release
from Anonymous?
Someone maybe.
It was
Tangent.
somebody who has like a legitimate hacking history, but I don't think it was actually anonymous.
But you're right. It doesn't really matter. This is one of those ones that even photo proof. It's like, well, it happened at some point. This exact picture took place, whether this one's real or not.
Exactly. This was a funny clip. Again, maybe didn't deserve it, but after the Michigan game, this comes out. Chris Wormley, Stooley, by the way, absolutely obliterating an old guy from Iowa running onto the field. I mean, if you run on the field, I think you're prone to get run over, so I had no problem with it. And the old guy didn't really make excuses. He's like, I'm a little sore, I'm all right. I think that's just Iowa heart right there. Like, you come on, you get, I mean, because he got crushed. Big Cat?
The great part about Iowa and like the field rush, those weren't students.
No.
They were like old Iowa people were like, shit, we're rushing this field. You rarely see that. It's always the students that get on the field. And that also has to be, I mean, those like few seconds when you lose a game, you're obviously devastated. But knowing that you get to just run over anyone that gets in your way,
Yep.
as long as you don't make an obvious shove, you get a pass.
And he went arms
Right,
in, too.
exactly. So I
Yeah.
think that's the move. If you're one of these guys, you just go as fast as you can in the locker room, arms in, just blowing people up. Old Iowa people. There was like a 50-year-old woman who was just like, "What are you doing? Are you really jumping on
That's
the field?"
Iowa.
It was literally like Trent's parents. The
Yeah, I was
grandparents
like,
were like,
what the
yeah, we're
hell's
running out on the field. It's classic. Like, those people didn't understand that they're still not in the stands.
Right.
Like, there's that
Right.
massive disconnect between, like, we're on the field now. These are gigantic fucking college
Mm-hmm.
athletes. And like you said, the guy didn't even try, and he fucking buried that guy. Hat came off.
This story didn't make the cut. I just want to give a shout out. The guy from Hamilton, the lead guy, there was a story came out that some rapper called Technique, I don't know who the fuck that is, but threw him in dumpster in high school, and I just want to give a shout out. That is obviously that guy from Hamilton. I've been trying to put my finger on that guy since he rose to prominence in all these interviews. He is the type of guy who clearly got thrown in a dumpster in high school, so I wanted to give him a shout out. Oh,
Lived in a dumpster.
There is nothing more hit or miss than being like a drama club guy. Like if you make it, then you're this guy Hamilton. If not, you live your life on the inside of dumpsters.
Yeah, in a dumpster.
So it's like, that was a quick shout out to that guy. That's pretty much the rundown. I don't know what we have post show. I don't know if you guys saw my blog about Clem facts, the two, whether it's a bigger fact he doesn't like cream cheese or doesn't snore.
something to clarify there. He doesn't snore, but he screams. He night screams. You remember that? Hank.
Wait, what?
Hank,
Like,
can we
what
get a
does he night
microphone?
scream?
Hank. Hank's got to tell this story again. Come here, Hank.
I forgot about that.
I mean, that's the part that I read your blog and I was like, the cream cheese is stunning. The snore is misleading because a snore, a guy who doesn't snore, it's like you can live with him. He screams. He night screams.
It was 4 a.m. I was awake because I couldn't sleep.
In Latvia.
Latvia.
Yeah.
This is Latvia, 4 a.m. the day before our flight. I'm wide awake. Clem started screaming like, like jumped out of bed. Like if I was asleep, I probably would have had a heart attack. He was screaming bloody murder. Like I thought he had a nightmare that his like daughter got killed, and I was like, Clem. Like what's wrong? He's like, oh, I thought we missed our flight. And that was it. He was like, it was insane. He was literally like screaming bloody murder.
That does
And he was like,
cloud.
it
So
happens
the
all-
snore,
like,
yes,
that happens to me all the time.
Yes,
He said it happens all the
Yeah.
time.
He's
Yeah,
like,
so
you
that's
should-
cloudy
he's
now
like, welcome to
because
my
the
wife's
snore, I'd say night scream, that is a fat guy move. Night screaming.
scream.
Just waking up and just screaming.
Yeah, I mean, fat guys have some kind of move at night. Like you're never
Yeah.
just
Yeah, I
fucking
walk around. I
chilling
walk.
there.
I sleepwalk.
Yeah.
That's a fat guy move too.
I
just
don't
get up
do
and start
that,
walking.
But I mean, now I don't know what to say. I did not. I heard that story, but I forgot that he had night screams.
The fact that, like, oh my God, Clem.
All right,
Thinking
so-
about waking up in, I mean,
The only,
Hank doesn't get enough credit for going out. Hank, they met at the airport and went to Latvia, and then he's sleeping with a guy who's night screaming in Latvia.
600-pounder night screaming in Latvia.
Hank should get a Purple Heart for that trip.
I
love Clem. That's not a knock on Clem. That's just Hank should get a Purple Heart.
will say it in a weird way makes a lot of sense because it made no sense that he is just a quiet, peaceful sleeper. You can't be that size and sleep normally.
The cream cheese thing is just bizarre.
Very
I don't get
bizarre.
that. That's not even a fat, skinny thing. Like, who doesn't like cream cheese?
I've never heard of anybody not liking cream cheese. I've understood like bagels with butter, but you
that's
still
Montreal bagels, right?
Is that what it's called?
They're like the skinny bagels that are really good, and it's better with butter than cream cheese.
Well, my intern Robbie eats his bagels with literally nothing on them. Just
Well,
like
that's a psycho move.
Yeah, he's a
psychopath.
psycho for a lot of reasons.
Yeah,
That
well, that's
fucking
one of
picture
them, but I'm
him
just saying.
dressed up as a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
Should we put that in the?
Yeah.
Robbie, all of like $110 soaking wet, dressed up as like with the gloves and everything.
Sent me a picture from like his parents' living room
Wild
that was
picture.
like, I'm gonna do man on the street. at
Hold on, I
UFC,
need
and
Dave's reaction. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up. Wild picture. Wild picture.
It's a great picture.
This
it was
kid,
wild when he sent it to me.
He's
What was it for? Halloween?
So he went Friday and tried out like a man on the street at UFC, and this was his outfit.
like, I mean, the least intimidating guy in the world. Dressed up
It
like
looked
that.
You see like his parents' fireplace in the background.
Yeah, so we'll put that so people can see it. That's just
looks
the
like
gloves
looks
and-
like he ripped like 10 push-ups right before.
Yeah, I know his
that,
veins
too.
are popping out of
Yeah,
his
it's a
arms.
little
So
weird.
right.
Little
The veins are
weird.
popping though, not because of push-ups, because like he needs to drink a glass of milk.
yeah, and probably
It's
put
that
some
kind of
fucking cream
skinny.
cheese on his
Yeah.
fucking bagel.
Yeah.
All
Wow.
right, that's the rundown. So we'll see you tomorrow.